The Hearing Loss Association of Delaware works to open the world of communication to all individuals with hearing loss, adults and children alike, by providing information, education, support, and advocacy. And my friend Linda Heller, who wears many hats, is here right now to tell us all about it. Hello, Linda.
Hi, and excited to be here today.
I'm glad you could be here, Linda. And I think it's important because I don't know if a lot of people really understand the amount of people that are affected by hearing loss.
Yes. Nationwide, there's about 36 million people, about 17% of the population. So in Delaware, if we extrapolate that, it's probably around 150,000 people.
Wow.
And of the 150,000 people, only about a quarter of them have hearing aids.
Wow.
And so there's a large untapped population that is having difficulty with hearing.
So now, what is the new technology with the hearing to help people with hearing loss?
Right. Well, the technology has actually, it's been around for a while, but it hasn't been in the mainstream. In Europe, it's very prominent. I mean, in Europe, you find hearing technology quite common. And there's a particular kind of technology called a hearing loop. And the hearing loop is it's a device to help people hear. And we're trying to bring it to Delaware and across the country so that more people can hear more easily in different venues.
So now we have a video that demonstrates the hearing loop technology, and I want to show that, and then we're going to come back and talk about it, and then we'll show the folks what it actually looks like.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look
Sure.
at this.
Okay.
All right.
Live recording at the subway booth at 66th Street, Lincoln Center, asking for directions.
Take the 1 train to 14th Street. Get off and get the L train. That's heading south. Excuse me?
The exact same encounter as heard over the loop system installed at the subway booth at 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
Take the 1 train to 14th Street. Get off and get the L train to Bedford. That's heading towards Brooklyn. Yes. Excuse me?
Now, Linda, that is amazing, and I don't think, I'm going to be honest with you, before I watched that, I would have never understood what it's like for a person who has hearing issues to hear while a train is rumbling through at the booth where they're trying to get information. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Well, that's exactly why I brought that tape, because it's very hard to understand what having a hearing loss is like. It's a disorder of communication, and it affects every aspect of your life. And so what that hearing loop does is what you saw in the video. It was in a subway, but you can use a loop in a church, in a home, watching television, or you can use it in a theater, a movie theater.
You're wearing
so many
it, right?
venues. Yes.
Okay.
And
So this is what it looks like.
This is a sample. This
Okay.
is actually a loop.
Okay.
The hearing loop means a hearing wire or loop, and there's a wire here. And there's 2 ways to use it. One is if you have a hearing aid. And if you have a hearing aid, you don't need one of these. If you have a hearing aid, you have a loop inside your hearing aid. About 70% of hearing aids already have a loop built inside. So that means when I go into a room that has this wire, or I go up to a train station or subway and I'm listening, or a theater or a movie theater, all I have to do is when I walk in the room, I can sit in any seat I want in the whole place, way up in the balcony if I want. And I turn my hearing aid to the T switch, which means telephone. And the telephone is a magnetic induction coil. It is a loop. And a magnetic induction coil is what we call a loop. It's a wire.
Right.
And so all you have to do is just walk into a room, turn your hearing aid on the T switch, and you can hear.
Right.
And what that loop does is, first of all, it makes the distance between the speaker and the listener close. So instead of trying to hear somebody on a stage, it's like the person is sitting right next to you.
Now, let me ask you something. Is it expensive? And what about folks who, because you said some of these people don't even have hearing devices at all now.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so there's two ways to use it. I have a hearing loss. I have a loop already in my hearing aid, so it doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
I walk into a theater or a church or any place with a loop, and I don't have to do anything. I just sit there and I turn my hearing aid to the T switch, the telephone switch, and I can hear. So I don't have to spend any money. If you don't have a hearing aid, okay, or you have a hearing aid that does not have a loop,
okay,
which a few do, then you wear something like this, and it's called a neck loop, and you just wear it around your neck like this, and it's plugged into a small receiver.
Okay.
And you're automatically looped into the whole system and wherever you are. Whether you go up to your pharmacist and you're having trouble hearing.
Okay.
And the loop really, not only does it help lessen the distance, but it also helps minimize or almost eliminate background noise.
So what's the Loop Delaware project update? Now, what are you guys doing?
Yes, the Let's Loop Delaware project is a major project that we have going on right now with the Hearing Loss Association, and it's part of the Hearing Loss Association of America, of which we are a Delaware affiliate. Called Let's Loop America. And so we're trying to bring this technology to the United States and have as many people as possible have a loop system, whether it's Delaware theaters and train stations and everybody. So if we can do that, then it will make things so much easier for people with hearing loss.
Right.
And so we have a survey going on right now that people can get on our website, and you print off the survey, and then you can fill out a survey. So you can go to your pharmacist or your church or their theater or someplace in the area and find out if they have a loop. We know there are a few loops systems already in Delaware, but not as many
enough.
as we need.
Right. So, Linda, if anybody wants to find out more about how they can help, what they need to do, where should they go? And you guys have an event coming up too, right?
Yeah, we have. They can go to our Hearing Loss Association of Delaware website, which is www.hlade.org, and you can do that. And we also have events coming up, training to help explain what a loop system is, not just for consumers and people with hearing loss and their families, but also for people that are interested in maybe looking into a loop system. The loop system for a person, if they needed to get a loop system, is anywhere from $100 to $300. Okay, and so the bigger the venue, of course, the more expensive it is. But it's quite reasonable considering the huge impact that it has for people with hearing loss.
And I think if everybody doesn't understand that, they need to go back and watch that PSA again with the subway, and you will really get a great idea of how beneficial this is. And I do think that this is something that should be installed in more places than it is. Definitely.
And it's part of complying with the Americans with Disabilities Act too.
Right.
So, having a sign language interpreter is great. Sign language. People who need sign language represent about 1% of the population with hearing loss. But people with hearing loss are a great larger number, but yet they're not being reached, or their issues aren't being addressed as much.
Linda, thanks for coming, as usual.
Okay.
You always have such great information.
Okay, great. Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Great to have you, and I'll come back again.